Yo, what's up, guys? So today we're going to take a look at everybody's favorite one-turn kill combo that keeps popping up because it sounds really fun and crazy and it looks super consistent. Focused around our buddy Humbus here. So when a 1-2 fire, when a player casts a rune, your opponent must send the top cards from their deck to the underworld, and that's any player. So a lot of people looked at this card, looked at cards like Nectar God, Drops of Leaf, and said, "Oh, we can just turbo mill our opponent out. It's going to be great." And that sounds really good on paper, but when you actually play a game, does it actually work? Well, spoiler alert, but let's go look at the deck, right? I have it loaded up right in TTS behind me. So this is what my Humbust Turbo Mill deck looks like. Yours might look a little bit different, but just to go over it, obviously we have 3 Humbust because we need Humbust to start the combo. We have 3 Drops of Leaf for lots of draw power, cycle back what we don't need. Circle the Sky, again for draw power. Nectar Gods for draw power. Cinder for a backup plan. 3 Hephaestus for basically 2 runes, because you play him, he then searches out Hammer, so it's kind of like another draw effect, as well as 2 more mill from the Hammer, 2 mill from Hephaestus. Volcanic Forge, it's a Nexus bank, as well as another rune for 1. 3 Ambrosia, because this deck runs out of spirits really, really fast. Like, exceptionally fast. Golden Apple Discord, that will turn any of our dead cards or extra Elestrals in our hands that we can't play for turn into additional mill, so we can play it. It'll mill 2 from Humbust, and it'll mill 2 for ditching a card from our hand. So it turns basically any Elestral we have dead in hand into 2 more cards milled. Then we have Rise From. Rise From is here because obviously it's a rune, it'll mill more. If we get lucky to Golden Apple away a Humbust or a Cinder, we can use Rise From to get them back into play. Or maybe we get to turn 2 or 3 and our Humbust dies and we still need to push through. We can use Rise From to get it back. Tsunami and Shield are our protection, so we don't need a ton of protection cards because we're drawing so much. If we know we're not comboing off this turn, we don't need that much protection because we are just cycling through our deck so fast. Then we have 3 Amp Up. So Amp Up is fodder for Apple. It's deck thinning, and it's extra cards. So if you play Amp Up before you play Drops of Leaf, you can kind of +2, or not +2, +1 with your drops draw because you go get an extra Amp Up to hand. So then you have 1 more card in hand, you play drops, now you're getting some more cards. And then 2 Small Tuga because if we go first and we don't have Humbust in hand, 2 Small Tuga gives us a higher chance of pulling the Humbust to hand and trying to combo off on our second turn. So the deck seems really fun. Well, the deck, I should say, is very fun because you get to do lots of things. But if you want to kind of watch me do a bunch of sample hands, I played this deck. I did like 50 something turn ones with this deck. Like, you'll see the video all the way up in the corner. I tested this deck a lot to see what would happen. And the verdict is just, it's a bust. So, in that video, right, I got 0 OTK successes. Not a single one in 50 tries during my live stream that I tried this in. 0. Not a 1. The closest I got was like 30 something cards, like 32 cards, but I had 0 spirits left and nothing in play except for Humbust and a Hammer. So they play any Elestral and it just dies, and then the next turn I drew, I think, another Humbust and it's like a brick, right? So not even close. 50 fails, only OTK. And so that's not including every other player who has tried this deck. Red Baron has tried it, Quino has tried it, Rat has tried it, Moxie has tried it. Everybody has tried this deck, and I have not seen it win a single best of 3. I've seen it win a couple of games here and there, and you'll see in my still winnable number, yes, all those still winnable games were turn 3, maybe. Like, as in, you need 3 of your own turns, Not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Turn 3 where I go, you go, now it's turn 3. No, it's I go, you go, I go, you go, I go again. So if you can protect your Humbust for 2 turns, it was a win. It's a win, which that's why it's still winnable. Yes, caveat: it took a lot of turns to do so, and you don't have a lot of proactive cards in this deck. Still winnable? No. So those 43 no's are literally, there's no way that the deck is winning because maybe we got to 10 to 14 cards and we bricked. And the issue with breaking with this deck is we're not doing damage to your spirit deck. So on turn 1, if we brick and go to 0 cards in hand, 2 cards in hand, no more combo going off, our opponent has 20 spirits still. So if we don't win with the mill, we're not winning. And that's part of the issue with mill. We'll go over that at the end. And the 4 maybes are toss-ups. Like, the game's going to go really long here. Maybe we control Humbust for a little bit longer and our draws get lucky. Those are the maybes. So, yeah, there's a lot of bad statistics people run around in Discord with. It's a very complex problem to solve, but it's not very good. Honestly, I'm not even going to say it's not very good. It is horrible. Like, currently one of the worst decks you could probably be running, actually. Unfortunately, it's really fun because when you're playing the deck, you feel like you're doing so many things. You're drawing lots of cards. You're going off. It's great. And then you look at how much cards you actually milled, and you're looking at like 14, 16, 18 cards milled. Your opponent still has all their spirits to interact with on your next turn, and you just kind of sit there like, well, game 2. So, yeah, it's not that good. But man, is it fun? Now, the next commentary is, what would make this deck good? Is there a way that this deck would be good? And people say, well, if we get like 1 or 2 more strong draw cards, and maybe if we get a couple strong draw cards, if we get some like, invoke speed, searchers, so that we don't have to play Smoltuga to search Humbust, maybe. But the issues that the deck has is, first off, it runs out of spirits really fast, even with the Ambrosias. But when you draw the Ambrosias, you're not continuing to draw cards, you brick more. You run into the fact that you have a very small chance of opening on Humbust. It's like maybe a 30% chance because you're talking 3 out of 40 cards. You pick 5 out of 40. The odds that one of those are Humbust is, I don't know, like a third maybe. I don't know the exact stats, but it's not very likely. And then if you don't have Humbust in your opening hand, you now have to spend your time in your combo searching for Humbust. So you're already spending your runes and you're spending your resources and you're losing spirits to find your combo piece. You do nothing without Humbust. And if you only have a 30% chance of drawing Humbust and you just have to kind of go, all right, Nectar, okay, now I have Humbust, now I have Humbust and start comboing off, you just lost 2 of your best draw cards to find Humbust. It's not good. Secondly, I touched on this multiple times. When you run out of spirits, you run out of spirits in this deck so quickly. And you can kind of look at the cost to damage proportions in this way, right? So you have Drops of Leith. Now, Drops of Leith is 2 cost, and with Humbust, you mill 2. Nectar of Gods, 2 cost. You mill 2. Hammer of Hephaestus, 2 cost. Mill 2. That Rise from Ashes, 3 cost. Mill 2. So a lot of your extenders, in a sense, are 1-for-1 spirit to cards in deck. But if we have, at best case scenario, if we get 3 Ambrosias, we have 26 spirits in our spirit deck. But a lot of our cards are 1-for-1. Then we're doing 26 spirits for 26 cards. That's not an OTK. Now we have a bunch of 1-drops mixed in. So yes, like Circle of the Sky, 1 cost, 2 mil. Hephaestus, 1 cost, 2 mil. Volcanic Forge, 1 cost, 2 mil. Apple is actually one cost 4 mil, so that's cool, but it requires 2 cards, so it's kind of basically you're reducing cards in hand. So yeah, you're spending on average, it's probably like 1.5 spirits to mill 2. You multiply that out, trying to get to a whole deck, it's 30, which is still not no TK. And then you're basically out of spirits. Like, you just barely have enough spirits if the combo goes off to get the combo done. And that's another issue, is those spirits. It's just, I know people are afraid of the combo, but there could be so much support in this deck and it still won't work. We could get if you could replace, let's say, the Cinders in this deck with a 1 cost draw 3, I still don't know if you get there with this deck consistent enough to win a best of 3. Like, that's how inconsistent this deck is. I should even say inconsistent. It's consistent in the fact that it doesn't work. um, but yeah, it's not what you want out of a deck. It's super fun and memey. So yeah, guys, in brief, again, we're looking at, the deck bricks a lot. If we don't have enough spirits to combo off, we don't have spirits to combo off. If we don't have Humbust in our opening hand, we're spending our combo to find it. And if we whiff, there's no way to win. If we can't get the mill win, our opponent just says, okay, cool, I have 20 spirits, go. Oh no, I have 10 cards in my deck. Well, I just kill your Humbust and you bricked out, you lost. Now, again, devil's advocate, what if we get really good draw power? Will Humbust be good? Yes, but at the same time, if we get lots of draw power, maybe we also get cards that return cards from our underworld to our deck. And then it kind of counterbalances itself. I don't think Humbust is going to see anywhere near competitive play for a very long time. It's super fun to try. It's a great fun support card to have in a mill deck. There's going to need a lot more mill support to get mill wins consistently. And going into future sets, I don't think we need to worry about it anytime soon. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Humbust. It is a big old bust. Not even close. Not even close. But it is a fun deck, so try it for yourself if you want to. If you want to try to make Humbust actually work, probably some kind of Thunderfire control shell and try to use your opponent's runes to mill them out. That might have more success, but then you're playing a very slow deck and you have to protect a 1/2 Elestral for multiple turns in a control deck to make that your win condition. But at least you might have some more attackers and something to do besides just the mill strategy in a Thunderfire control deck. So yeah, that's the video. If you want to see me lose my mind playing this deck and just sample handing it, I did a live stream the other day with like 15-20 people. We had a lot of fun. They're just taunting me the entire time in chat about me losing my mind playing this really just dumb deck. Check it out. It'll be in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next video. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'm a growing channel. If you can subscribe to me, I'd appreciate it. It's free, and you can always unsub later. Don't unsub later. But you could always unsub later if you don't like the content. Other than that, guys, have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.